Well, hey there,
Hello.
friends.
Hello. Welcome to Deweese Marriage Counseling. It's January 8th when we're recording this.
This freaking
Buckle
okay,
the fuck up.
real quick. Do not ever inquire about house refinancing online because one time, like a month ago, I did. And I keep getting these phone calls and I keep telling them, stop flipping calling me, stop texting me.
When have you ever told them to stop?
Well, I haven't told them to
Is this
stop
a
calling me because
conversation in your head,
I
like the kind you have with me, that you then get upset that I don't remember the thing that you never said out loud to me?
Okay, before we go any further, we should probably just like officially say hello. I'm Ashley Deweese.
I'm Justin Deweese, and this is currently the Life Unfiltered show.
We'll come back to that.
We will
Um,
come back to that.
no, I have not told them on the phone because I don't like to talk to people on the phone, and so I
Right.
just like close it
I
off.
can't believe they didn't do the
However,
thing you didn't tell them not to do.
well, no, but they call me and then they'll send me a text, and so I tell them via text. And I told this dude via text the other day. He was like, or I don't know. He's asked me a question after 50 million texts, and I replied and I said, please take me off your list. And he said, okay. And then I got another text a few days later that goes, are you not interested in doing this anymore or something like that? And I was like, uh, no, I'm still interested, but I asked you to take me off your list. Oh, just
Well,
not with you.
maybe you weren't. Maybe you
Clear
didn't go
enough?
to.
Take me off your list.
Maybe you didn't go to a refinance site. Maybe you went to the wife experience site, and so
What
that's
does
why.
do? I half of me is like, don't ask the question, Ashley. Don't ask the question, Ashley. And then the other part of me is like, I
Right,
just what
you
I
want
want
to
to scratch the
know.
itch. Hey,
Right,
I'm gonna wipe my nose. It's that time of year, and we're
right.
recording,
It's
so why
it's that
wouldn't
time of the
we?
podcast and time of year has nothing to do with it. But no, it's the wife experience because you asked them to stop doing something. And they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, no, we'll do that. We'll do that. The next day, still doing it.
You're
So,
still doing it. I don't get it. I don't even understand what you're saying.
yeah, don't worry about it.
Like
Get them,
that's what
but
I experience. I ask people in my home to do things, and then the next day they're still doing the things I asked them to stop doing, or haven't done the things that I've asked them to do. Is that what you're saying?
to get them boogies out.
I don't have boogies in. It's like my nose is dripping. I sue me.
I don't want to.
I just don't like that wet feeling.
Oh, Lord, I'm not even touching that one. So, how was the holiday season for you?
Define season. Like, are we talking like Thanksgiving to Christmas? Are we talking just like the last couple of weeks?
I don't give a
Christmas, New
shit. It's a
Year?
question, however you want to define it.
Oh my gosh. See, this is the thing. I have a bone to pick because are you asking the question because you really want to know? Or like you're just asking the question to ask a question? Because there's nothing worse than someone asking you a question that they really don't give a shit about your response. And I
Okay,
have like radar that goes off when people do that.
can you
And it's
shut your trap
kind
for a
of
minute?
going off a little bit right now.
Great, cool. Just sit there quietly for a second.
Maybe we,
I I don't need to ask you because we both work from home. I'm literally velcroed to your.
no,
Stop.
I disagree.
Okay.
I just stopped. See, this is me doing what you asked me to do, unlike the dude from Lone Depot.
So I know how your holidays went. I'm asking so that you can fill in the beloved listeners.
Right, but here's what I want to say to that. And I think it's a greater like lesson here. We do live together. And we have obviously gone through the holidays in the last 10, 15, 20 years of our life. Not 20, we haven't been together that long. I know how long we've been together. Don't
Sure, you do.
15 years this July. Um, but you can live in the same house, be connected to the same person, spend the time together. And yeah, you got an idea of what the general rundown was like, but do you really know my inner thoughts on how it's all gone?
Do you ever keep them inside? When has that happened? I saw I saw something today that's relevant to that particular point.
Okay.
And this lady was saying, here's where communication breaks down in married couples. Because men, when they talk, they have a purpose. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. I need to tell you this. I told you that. There you go. And that's it. And again, this was a lady saying this. So, don't shoot the messenger.
Right.
She said, women are like drunk drivers when they're conversing because they're just everywhere. And it weaves and it bobs and some things are connected and oh, remember Aunt Sheila and da 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 da. And so my point there is when you say, "Oh, do you know what my inner thoughts were? Have any of them ever stayed inside?" Because as near as I can tell, they haven't.
Oh no, I got a lot more inside that don't ever come out.
Holy shit! Shouldn't open that can of worms, then I guess.
I mean, I just look at it as it's giving you variety and spice of life, right? Because you get like all sorts of angles and perspectives and etc. with the way that my
Okay, well
brain
then
works.
I'll spice up your life a little bit.
You, I'm sure you will. Can it get any spicier?
Oh, it can.
So what was the original question? How were the
How?
holidays?
Yeah, how the holidays were, and you were like, "What do you mean by holidays?" And I said, "Define it however you'd like."
I mean, overall, it was overall it was pretty great. I enjoyed the downtime. I enjoyed the time. I always enjoy the end of the year for the most part, just because it's a catch 22 that the kids are home and off school every day, all day. Who knew
And
that would
apparently
ever
never
happen
going
when you have
back.
children? And apparently never going back to school. Um, snowstorm people. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the holidays. Is it exactly what I mapped out in my brain? No. Is it ever?
I was gonna say,
No.
what could it ever possibly be?
No, but I think overall we did a pretty good job of like sticking to our plan of, you know, minimalization by way of what we do during this time period of the
Why don't
year.
you fill in the listeners? Because I don't know that we talked about this before. What do we do?
Minimal minimalization?
How do we handle the holidays?
No, we did talk about it.
Did we?
I mean, let me just say the elephant in the room. We've not put out a podcast episode in like 3 weeks, I think.
And you know
We
what? I haven't heard from a single listener being like, "How come you guys haven't put out a
I
podcast?"
mean,
So
that's
this kind of on you
true.
guys.
It
Kind of on you
is,
guys.
but let's take responsibility. Let's take
I don't want to.
ownership. And I will say, I know I just jumped the shark here, but
This is what you
like,
do.
well, sometimes you just gotta you gotta be water and you gotta go with where it's going, right? And that's what water does.
Just stop. Just whatever you were getting at, get to it.
No, all I was getting at is I just want to say that there's part of me that is disappointed in us that we did not record the final episodes of the year. What we had missed one, I think. I think
Yeah, sure.
one week the entire time since we began. We missed, and other than that, like we followed through, even when it was challenging. But we just kind of bailed on it at the end of the year, and so part of me is disappointed in us that we did that. I'm sharing this because I think people need to see like nobody ever talks about this side of things, right? It's all about look how I showed up for 150 days in a row,
Right.
right? So half of me is a little bit of disappointed that we did not follow through on those and make those things happen. Um, the other part of me, and you'll be proud of me, I know you say I'm always proud of you, but you'll be proud of me because as I was pondering that disappointment a couple of days ago, I also said to myself, yeah, but also we started a podcast this year. Like we started a podcast, uh, don't know what we're doing. Know a little bit more than we did because we're, 50 some episodes in, or not 50 because
Yeah,
we
because you
missed a
screwed it up,
couple,
but go on.
but 40 some episodes in. Look at all the episodes that we did do. Look at the learning that we had from the year. And it is what it is. So now what? Moving forward, right? Like this is a place where many people could let themselves like stop, right?
Sure.
Like not move forward. See this, we bailed, we didn't finish what we started for the year. Maybe we shouldn't just continue pursuing this. But that's not necessarily true. Like we're
Well,
human.
first off, let me just recognize your growth. Okay, let's just
I sense a little sarcasm in
no.
that.
It's a sarcasm in the way I'm approaching it, but yeah, wipe that nose, girl.
Stop.
But and you kind of said it yourself. I do want to recognize your growth because you said, but we did a podcast and we made 40 some odd episodes and blah blah blah. We did all these things. And the old Ashley or previous iteration of Ashley,
There.
I shouldn't call my wife old,
Don't call me
all
old.
evidence to the contrary, would have been like, well, we haven't done a podcast in 2 weeks, so it's all ruined. It's terrible. I can't believe it. Just another example. So
And it would have looked just like that too, right?
pretty much. So
Hey, potential spam. Just want to let you know.
I'm proud of your growth that you are metamorphosizing in front of our very eyes into a more enlightened, transcendent, grounded, mindful person. And I'm proud of you.
Thanks. Thanks. You said first you were going to address my
Did I?
growth, and then it was like there was something else you were going to share, but it's okay. We don't need to
I don't
belabor
think
the
there
point.
was.
We got off track at the end of the year. Doesn't matter why. It is what it is. But here we are. We're back. It's also, I gotta say, like the fact that it is officially the first full week of the year, but there were a couple days in the first few days of January that we didn't do one of these. I'm a little bit like, dang it, but it's okay. Because here's the thing. And this is not the big nug of the episode. I mean, I guess the big nug could be whatever the big nug is for you, right? Because the big nug for you, listener, might be a different big nug for someone else, right?
Right. Right.
Is that you can course correct at any moment, like at
And
any
should.
moment, and should course correct. So, like, just speak, again, I could have been like, well, shit, like, and it went through my brain, like, it's already the second week. Like, we're already failing at this in 2025 because we didn't do something like in the first 3 days of that initial week. It's just how my brain works, which I'm working to reprogram, by the way. But I was like, no, like, that doesn't matter. If we want to do this, we want to keep doing this, then we just pull the trigger and record the
Right.
episode. Um,
Right.
and so that's a big nug there is at any moment you can course correct. You can be halfway through a bag of potato chips and go, holy shit, I don't want to continue to gain weight. I don't want to keep living. You can be in the middle of a 10-year relationship and look in the mirror one day and be like, holy shit, I don't want to keep living like this. Like you can make a
Hey,
decision
potential
at any
spam. Thanks for signing me up.
you can make a decision at any moment of any day to take a new path and to take a new path forward. Period.
Right. And you should, because to your point on, well, the holidays didn't go exactly the way we planned, but we did pretty okay. Like things are never going to go the way you planned,
Right.
right? Everybody, like Muhammad Ali said, or Mike Tyson said, I don't know, one of the boxer said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And life is going to punch you in the mouth over and over again. And if you can't evaluate, if you can't course correct, like you're in for a shitty time. And I don't know why you do that to yourself. right? It's
Well, and
like,
life is not just going to punch you in the face. Like life is also going to deliver you all kinds of gifts and blessings.
right,
And you also have to at times course correct or pivot as a result of those good things happening in
right,
your life.
right. Like part of our holidays, everybody in this house except for Ayla got really sick.
Ugh. And we're like never sick. Like we're rarely sick. And I'm not
Right,
over dramatizing that. Did I say that right?
right.
Over
Yeah, it
dramatizing.
doesn't matter. They know what you mean.
Like we are rarely sick on our home because we do place such an emphasis on our overall health and wellness. But
And we
yeah.
missed a couple workouts because of it. And then we missed a workout because of the snowstorm.
Well, I didn't miss a workout. I still
I
worked out
didn't
that
miss a
day. You missed a
workout.
workout that day. And I didn't miss, technically, I didn't miss any workouts.
Okay, you're probably right.
I'm just saying.
No, I know, I know, I know. And I'm just saying you're probably right. True champ.
Reminder in case you missed that episode last year, whenever someone in our home says you're probably right, they're not like
There's sort of the bullshit
literally
flag
they are. They're being
because
like,
she's full of
"Okay,
shit right now.
I'm not going to argue with you, so I'm just going to sit here and act like I'm turning it over the wind to you, but I'm not really. I'm like sticking the knife in."
It takes what it takes.
It does. It's a good book, by the way.
I know it is. That's why I called it out.
Um, yeah. So where did we? I don't even know where we started.
No, I was just saying there have been some missed workouts. Apparently all on my side. My my fitness influencer, queen of a wife, doesn't ever miss. It's amazing. It's a
I
sight to
do.
behold. No, stop. Just
No, because don't paint me as that person. Like I do. I am human. Like it's not like I'm perfect, but I do work really hard to like stick to my
nobody called you perfect. Pump the brakes.
training schedule. Well, it's not like I never miss workouts,
Pump the
but kind of
brakes.
it is. It kind of is.
Anyway,
Yeah,
and we course corrected and we got back to it
yeah.
and we substituted and alternated and did what we needed to do. I was just tying it back to the larger point that you were making.
Appreciate it. You did a great job of
Yeah,
that.
well,
Proud of you.
no, you're not, but go on.
It's so not true. You go on about. Yeah. So how are you feeling about 2025? I mean, we might as well talk about it. Like it's the start of the year. Like everybody feels some kind of way about a new year.
I mean, I feel about 2025 the way I feel about every new day, new week, new month, new whatever. Like it's all a continued progression upwards and onwards. Um, and I don't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody that like the New Year's thing is just it's arbitrary.
It is.
Like, oh, hey, it's January 1st, so I'm gonna start all these new things. Why? Start them today. It's Wednesday. Start today.
Yeah, and I'd like to pipe in because I can
Of
relate.
course you would. Pipe away. Hit me, Piper.
You're so dumb, Piper. No offense if you're named Piper or have a child that's named Piper, but I digress. No, I'm one of I how do I say this? Am I one of those people? I can relate because and this is part of where my growth has taken me, but I do like a fresh start. I do like an official like the page is turning, right? So I understand having been one of those people who looks forward to January 1, right? The start of a fresh year. Having been one of those people who has looked forward to a Monday to restart. However, just like you were saying, what I have come to understand is I don't have to wait for someone or something externally to
Right.
give me permission to start fresh.
Right. Every moment is a fresh start.
It can be. Yeah.
Right. You just got to make that choice.
Right. But that's a challenging thing for people to grasp, right?
Oh, of course it is. Of course it
Because
is.
so many people live their life based upon the externals telling
Right.
them what to do, how to do it, when to do it.
Right. Arbitrary constructs.
Correct.
It's like someone said the other day, goes, "Yeah, I will I'll call you at 4:07." And the other person was like, 4:07, that's an oddly specific time. And the person goes, "If you think about it, every time is specific. If I said I'll call you at 4 o'clock, that's no more specific than 4:07."
Right. It's just not the standard of calling on the hour or on the half hour or
Right.
you're right. But that leads me to make a connection and you can give me all the shit that you want because you probably don't remember it either. And I don't, and I'm being honest about it. But like on our wedding
Yeah.
invitation says
Of
start.
course I remember it. You know why? Because I still have one of our wedding invitations. Do you
I
have one of
know.
those? No, you
No,
don't.
I
No, you don't. So I do remember that.
what's the time?
I don't
Four
remember
night
that
it
exactly off the
well,
top of my
that's what I
head, but
meant. It would literally we put like 417 or like
right, we put some
419.
oddly specific time.
And initially that was tough for me for the very reasons we're talking about because I'm like people are going to think that's weird, that like that's not how you do it. And then finally I was just like fuck it, like we're doing this. This is my second marriage, this is his third marriage. We can put whatever time we want.
There are no rules.
There are no rules. Once you've been married two times, three times, like there's no rules. You just
It
do
ain't
what
got
you
nothing to
want.
do with that. I'm saying there are no
I
rules.
know. I know. I know. You can make up the rules. You can make
Right.
up the rules. And so we did. So anyways, kind of cool. And then we didn't even get married at that time because we
Because it
pivoted
was surface of the
because of
sun
the
hot.
day.
Like we apparently didn't know how to use weather channel apps at the
Well, and
time.
it wasn't just that, right? Like, well, yeah, it wasn't just that because we also had been out on the boat and
Right.
we were having fun and we were like,
Right.
we're
And
gonna
we
need
were
to be getting
sunburnt.
back if we're gonna do this. And we're like, oh, but we're all having so much fun. Like we could just push it back.
We're jumping off
We
cliffs
have that
and
power
drinking fish and the things.
that we were doing. It was a great day. Maybe we should reenact. I will. Maybe we should not reenact.
Yeah, let's some sleeping dogs need to be let lie.
True statement. So, anyways, I'm looking forward to 2025. I would be lying if I didn't say I feel a little bit like behind. Um, but I just keep well, I just keep coaching myself. Like we just talked about, like it's okay if you didn't have all of your shit together on January 1st. And in fact, I just told my clients that this past week. I was like, it's okay if you don't have your entire vision mapped out or your goals or processes for the year or however you choose to handle moving into the next phase of life for yourself. It's okay if you didn't have that just all mapped out on the first of the year. You didn't have to.
Well, and
But
here's
I'm
the deal.
excited about the year.
To go back to the previous point, like that plan is not going to stay intact
For sure.
unless you're one of those people that is highly neurotic that nobody wants to spend any time around.
I mean, that's bad.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't. Well,
So, like,
it's a trait that sometimes, I mean, clearly you don't, but it's a trait that we can sometimes romanticize of just having all of your T's crossed and I's dotted and like, what would that feel like? And in certain ways, it's helpful, but at the same time, like I don't want all that goes with that. All I'm
well,
saying
right. But
is
all I'm saying is there will always be T's to dot
there
and
will.
I's to cross,
No, there will.
right?
It's just breaking the again, it's
And,
breaking the conditioning and programming that we have in our
right.
mind of how
And
to
we should
do.
strive to be crossing all the I's and dotting all the T's.
Yes. But it's okay if
At the same time, realizing that, hey, we're never going to dot them all.
right. But we can do our best to dot as many as possible, cross as many as
Right.
possible.
Right. Right. And
So,
can you dot a
anyways,
couple more today than you did yesterday?
that's what I'm trying to do. Dot a couple I's today.
Well, there you go. I like
No,
that though.
I was just trying to say kind of in conclusion that I'm really looking forward to this year. Um, because I am in a mode of fresh starts, fresh ways of thinking. Even when the old ways of thinking try to creep in, like I'm actively working to flip the script more quickly than in the past. And I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish this year, and not a lot by way of like 50 million things, but I say a lot of things. There's just a lot of little things within a few bigger things that
Right.
I'm just looking forward to, and I just working on. I think that like I'm looking forward to the work. Who says that?
People that
But
know.
well, true. Like I am. I'm looking forward to the work. I'm also a little scared about the work. I'm a little like, holy shit, can I do this work? But at the same time, I know that I can. I know it's going to require me to grow into a
It's
new
okay.
in
They're trying to sneak by in their snow gear. And it's
right,
like,
just walk
just
by.
walk.
Just walk by. We're not those parents. Um No, like I know it's going to require me to stretch myself, to grow into a different version of myself. I know it's going to require me to let go of some thoughts, some behaviors, and that's not always an easy thing. So I definitely understand it's going to be challenging, but that's part of the process. And I really am looking forward to the work that I am going to do in 2025 on my own and
Good.
with you
Yeah.
and with lots
And
of other women.
right. And to wrap things up from my perspective, if you're one of our dozens upon dozens of listeners and you're thinking, oh, well, yeah, that's all neat and nifty and whatnot, but I'm however old and I haven't done this and I haven't done that, blah, blah, blah. I'm excited for 2025 because the big sexy jungle cat here turns 50, 50. Now, back in the
I
1800s, I'd probably be going in a hole, but we don't live in the 1800s. We live in
mean,
the 2000s, which
I
is
was going to say
bananas in and of
something
itself.
really
And
dark,
just
but I won't.
sit there
I know.
quietly, please. And what I'm here to tell you is in the year that I am turning 50, 50, I just want to let you know you ain't seen shit yet. Like it's just starting. And I'm 50. So if you're 35 or however old you are and you're listening to this and you're like, oh, but it's too late. The hell it is. You just got to make that choice. And like we talked about previously, every moment can be that fresh start that you can start asking the questions you need to ask, finding the help that you need to find, joining the community that you need to join, having someone coach you, whatever it means. Like it can start at any moment.
And sometimes I just like to say, I know we're wrapping up, but I don't want to leave little nuggets on the table. Like, because many people struggle with like, well, what is the next right step, right? And is this the one? And you're not always going to know that, right? Like
Right.
you just helped me make a decision
Just
recently that
step.
I was going like I don't I feel like I want to do this, but I don't know if this is like the thing I should be doing. And what you helped me to understand as well as a couple others is that you're never going to know for sure if it's the next right thing. But what you can be 100% like sure of, it's going to help you grow. So even if you make a decision that I'm going to go this direction, or I'm going to take this action, or I'm going to take on this program or make this investment, it might be the exact right thing that you needed to do.
Right.
But it also you might find out like, oh, that wasn't the right one for me, but it doesn't mean that that was a wasted investment, wasted
Right.
time, wasted decision. Like it helped you learn, right? It's helping you like prune away and understand what you need, what you don't need, what you like, what you don't like, as well as just helping you learn and grow overall as a human. Like everything that we do provides us with some sort of curriculum for our life, period. Even if it doesn't appear to have been the right thing.
Right.
So do the
Well
thing.
said,
Do the
Love
thing.
Muffin.
It's good to be back. I'm excited for our future episodes and the direction of the pod. Uh, give us some feedback in the comments. Let us know what you liked about this episode. Let us know what you're excited about for 2025. Because we love hearing from you and we need to hear from you more.
Right.
So, with that, we will see you next week.